appreciate you coming through, man. We're early days with the series, but I'm glad I can get someone like you on.
Oh, you're being kind.
So, did you bring one of your favorite drinks?
I have a beer here. I have cocktails, but it's a little early in the day. I thought I'd have a beer.
Fair enough.
I do have coffee as well. So that way I can go back and forth. I'm actually just it's gonna even itself out. It's gonna even itself out.
Okay, so first things first, I just want to ask you the good old question. In 10 seconds, can you explain what you do?
Absolutely. In 10 seconds, I'm the director of operations for Carnage Clan, which basically means that I handle a lot of the business stuff for the team, partnerships, influencer management, and public relations and communications.
Can you explain in depth your specific role in Carnage?
My day-to-day is, I guess you would say that I do a lot of the stuff that most people don't want to. The creators are all really amazing. They're artists and they're awesome. I really love the team. Each one of them are really close friends of mine. They're all the stars, and I'm the guy that holds the spotlight to make sure that they stay center stage and the light shines on them. So I'm the guy that's shining the light. They're the innovators on the elevator. I try to make sure that they have everything they need in order to be able to create their content and to have the platform. I help facilitate the connections with studios, with partnerships, and everybody in the community to help everything work smoothly. So that's basically my role. I've been in the community since 2008, and I've managed many teams and organizations. I used to play competitive back in the day. I was very mediocre. I was good enough to play OBJ but not Slay, and that's just been in my blood ever since. And so I've always just kind of stayed part of the community.
Where did you start with Carnage? How did you start to begin to be at the level you are now?
Oh, okay. Well, that's a really good question. Honestly, I've just been with Carnage for a couple of years. Back in 2008, 2009, I play COD, I play COD, get started. And we were one of the original communities for Call of Duty, huge Facebook community, 500,000 fans. We got together and we started doing old free-for-all tournaments and helped promote content creators back in the old days when you had forums and stuff like that. We became one of the original Call of Duty influencers. We were one of the very first people that Activision used to fly out to events and stuff like that. We did that for a really long time. As things progressed, things changed. Reddit came along. YouTube took off, everything started blowing up bigger and bigger. I kept going out because I kind of represented the old guard, the old guys. And I met one of my really close friends, Dexbot, joined Carnage, and I was watching him, and then I got to meet Apollo and a lot of the Carnage guys. These guys have the exact same philosophy as me. They're very constructive, they're very positive. They just want to make everything better, and that's really my whole life philosophy. So I was naturally drawn to that. Approached Apollo with some ideas of things that we could do together. He was excited about doing it, so we got on board and I took on the management role with the team. And I guess that was 2019. Because a lot of people do assume that. No, I was a later addition. Carnage has a really neat history, starting off as a clan, moving into making content, becoming more of a pub stomping org, along some of the lines of the really great pub stomping teams that you got out there, these other ones like Doom and other ones like that, which are great. Mm-hmm. But then we identified that we needed to change, needed to adapt as the community changed. We needed to change too. So we started focusing more on content, and that's when I came on board, was to help with that transition.
As you have been a part of Carnage, what was the biggest milestone as a whole that you guys have hit that really stuck out to you? That made you go, what the fuck?
There's been a couple of big things. Actually, there's something really big coming up that I'm not even allowed to talk about yet. No, I can't tell you anything, but there's something big coming up. And whenever it first came up in our private meetings and whatnot, that I did, as soon as we got done with that meeting, I got Landon in a private call, and then I had my what the fuck moment with him, just like, are you serious? I mean, did that just happen? Yeah, so we've had a couple of those moments. Of course, waking up one morning and seeing that our Twitter account was verified, that's a big, it's like, really? I mean, we play video games and make content based on it. It's like, okay, that's really cool. We've had a lot of those moments. We've been approached by really big companies, really big brands and stuff like that to work with, and those have been amazing moments. We've had moments where whenever when Cold War got rolled out and they were doing the initial teasers where they were sending things out to influencers.
Mm-hmm.
There was a point in time when they only sent out like 10 packets to people. Of those 10 packets they sent out to influencers, 3 or 4 of those were Carnage members.
Yep.
So if you think about that on a worldwide basis of the influencers they sent it out to, it like 30 to 40% of that was our team. And it's like, okay, let's just sit back for a second and appreciate that. This wasn't, it wasn't FaZe. It wasn't 100 Thieves. It was Carnage. And it's like, that's us. That's us. So that was a big moment. I mean, so we've had lots of moments like that. We've seen our members get Call of Duty creator codes. We've seen there's a lot of that. We've had big members join us that were a lot of people were like, really. A really good friend of mine. He's been a friend of mine since 2012. Brad Drifter. When he came to me and we were talking in an event, and he's like, so you're with Carnage now? I was like, yeah. And we talked for a while, and he's like, I think that's something I'd be interested in too. That was like, okay, all right, so we can do, and then we started working together. That was a big moment. So we've got a lot of really big members and a lot of things like that. Each one of those additions has been an exciting moment.
When Cold War was being dropped, Shauna got a creator code. She was one of the few, and to me, following Carnage for so long, it's been a good number of years now, for seeing that progression from a viewer standpoint, and somebody who wants to join and is working his absolute ass off to do the best I can for me, to see that happen, to be a part of that must seem surreal. I'm at a loss for words, really, how big of Carnage has actually got.
Extremely proud of Shauna. She was a fan. She was always an amazing creator. And honestly, just a great person. And then whenever she got announced and became part of the team, her commitment to the team carried forward. And I mean, she even got a tattoo of Carnage on her arm. And I mean, which is insane. But she's always been one of our best representatives, just in the way she carries herself. And we're just extremely proud of her and all the success she's had. I love her to death.
Was there a game series or, just a single game in your life that has stuck with you?
That's a really good question. All right. Well, I mean, I started playing competitive like years and years ago. I mean, I played on competitive traveling teams for like America's Army, which was this old game that the Army made. It was propaganda. That was basically they'd make, but a bunch of gamers got together and we started playing it competitive for money and stuff like that. Way back in the day, of course, CS:GO. So we played that. Of course, we played Call of Duty. Rainbow Six. I played pro on Rainbow Six Vegas 2. There's been a lot of games in the series that have really just been. It's always been first-person shooters for me. That's been my genre that I've really played and really loved, and I love multiplayer. So that's been something that I've always just been really drawn to. I love playing StarCraft and stuff like that as well. So those are the games that have really jumped out to me. They've been the big ones. And of course, who doesn't love sitting back and playing a Rockstar game like Grand Theft Auto or something like that? I mean, those are games that have defined our generation. And, love those games. Red Dead Redemption, great games.
When did you start that kind of competitive phase, and when did that end, and why?
Okay, all right. Well, let's see. I guess I first started playing competitive probably in the early 2000s, but I was already considered an old man at that point. I graduated high school in 1992, so I was already old. I was already the old guy on the team back when I first started playing competitive. The last tournament I played was probably in 2008 as a competitive on a team-based thing. I mean, I went to MLG Dallas in 2008. And you can already tell that your quick twitch response is slowing. You're getting older. It's just you're not able to compete with the guys where it feels like they have their responses are just unreal. And so it was an age thing where I started to feel it, and I realized that I had other ways that I could contribute. So I adapted and started to do those instead. So that's probably what that is. I still played free-for-all tournaments for a long time. I played free-for-all tournaments all the way until, I can't remember what year Ghosts was. I think that was the last free-for-all tournament I played was Ghosts. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
With Warzone though, do you think did you have that kind of twitch or that urge to maybe try and like get into a few comps, a few tournaments with that, or?
Yeah. I guess by the time Warzone already came out, I was never really big in battle royales. But I know that by the time Warzone came out, it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed playing it. You got to understand, my first introduction to Warzone. My first introduction to Warzone was actually at IW Studios with a room full of the best players in the world. It was all of the creators from all over the world. You had like the players from FaZe were there, 100 Thieves was there, Dismo's there. You know, I remember the first time I died in Warzone, Dismo killed me, Jordan, and Apollo, all three of us. I got like a triple kill, just boom, 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 just killed all three of us. And he was on a team with Pomage and Butters. And then when I died, I got sent to the gulag, and the guy that took me out was Pomage. Oh. So it was like, okay, so you understand that my first introduction to Warzone was that. It's like, so you realize, talk about skill-based matchmaking. It was extreme, sweaty. It's sweaty. If you get 3-4 kills in a game like that, you are proud. I mean, you'll get a kill and you'll be like, I killed Testament. You know, you're thrilled. You're like, yeah, I got that kill. I mean, I'd have to completely edit and piecemeal that together to make a montage that looked good. But yeah.
Apart from like, you know, the constant sweat of Pomage and Desmo and stuff, what was your first initial reaction? I know you said you weren't a Battle Royale fan to begin with, but how was it?
I loved the first time we got to play Warzone. It was finally a Battle Royale. Now, I'll take that back. I really like Blackout. I didn't get to go to a reveal for Blackout. Warzone felt really good. It felt really solid. It was fun. It made sense right away. So we enjoyed that a lot. It was really, I enjoyed it. I liked it a lot. Not to mention I was playing with Espresso and Apollo on either side of me, and we were a 3-man squad going in. So it was goofy. It was funny. We were learning how to do stuff. I think we were halfway through the first round before we even realized we could put armor in. I mean, because we didn't know what we were doing. I mean, we had no idea what was going on. We were just like, okay, here you go. And then we went to a buy station, and we're like, well, what are we supposed to do with this? We don't know. You know, we're having fun discovering the vehicles you could drive and stuff like that. I mean, so it was silly. I got a landmine, the proximity mine. I just threw it down somewhere, and somebody drove a big berth over, and I blew up their entire squad. And it was the most hilarious moment ever, just because they didn't even know why they died. Oh yeah, I know. My first impression of Warzone was really good. I really had a great time with it. So I guess that's the long answer to a short question.
Were you able to record?
Oh yeah. The neat thing about it is it's not like the old days. The old days you had to bring your Elgato, you had to bring your laptop, you had to bring all that stuff and hook it all up. That was what we used to do years before at events. But now they'll send you out. The laptop will already be set up. The console is set up. The monitors are set up, and they just give you a USB stick. And then you will record all the content, and then you transfer the content to a USB stick, and they send you home with the USB stick. And USB sticks are cool. They got a little logo on them with whatever that game's logo is on it. And I actually collect USB sticks. I think I've got one I could show you. I've got so much Call of Duty stuff. I mean, real quick, the last event I went to was the Warzone event, and they gave us, this looks like a sleeping bag, but this is actually a ghillie suit. It's an entire real ghillie suit that they gave us. So when we went to our hotel rooms, we found this in our hotel rooms, and it was a ghillie suit. So every person that was at the event got a ghillie suit. So
all right, real talk. How many times have you worn that?
I've never taken it out of the bag. I was scared that once I took it out of the bag, I wouldn't be able to put it back in. And just think of this, it's still fresh new in the bag. Isn't that make a collector items worth more? Isn't that supposed to be?
I think, yeah. I mean, you can use it offer. Yeah.
I've got so many of those kind of things, but it's fun. It's fun. I like collecting them all.
You can go into detail, please. By all means, just go right in depth. What is your best and your worst Call of Duty, and why?
All right.
I'll sit back with this one.
I hate this. I hate this because I always try to be constructive.
Go for it.
And I don't ever like calling something the worst. The game that I had, okay, there's a couple ways I'll answer this. The game that I think is the best Call of Duty is probably Black Ops 2, and that's probably because it was the most well-rounded. It had the best competitive. It was a solid multiplayer. It had zombies, but the game that I personally had the most fun with was Black Ops 3. Because I enjoyed the advanced movement of it. I enjoyed the weird things I could do. I didn't really like all the other advanced movement Call of Duties, It felt too sporadic to me. It felt like a meth monkey or something just bouncing around everywhere. The only thing I didn't like about Black Ops 3 was, of course, the loot system. You found a gun that you wanted, and then you could drop $1,000 and never get it. My least favorite is probably Advanced Warfare, and this is why. I know you don't like this answer.
No.
But this is why. The campaign was one of the best. So, okay, on that end, yes, Sledgehammer did an amazing job presenting a great story. But I have friends. I have friends at Sledgehammer Games. I mean, I literally, like, Brian Miggles at Sledgehammer Games is a communication manager. He is a friend of mine. I like this man. So I want him to know. He's like, yes, I really liked that part of the game. The multiplayer didn't feel like Call of Duty to me. It was way too bouncy. The guns didn't feel right. It felt pay to win. We were all just trying to get the speakeasy. It was the game that invented the supply drop system. It was the game that opened Pandora's box. That's why, no, I didn't like the bouncy movement of AW. And once you added in that, I was like, okay, no, you go to the bottom of the list. That's my top and that's my bottom.
If you had one member of Carnage to bring with you if by tomorrow a zombie apocalypse just magically appears, who is that one person you want to survive with?
Wow. You're talking about, and I think I've adopted like at least 10 of them. You're making me pick which kid is my favorite. I have to split up the triplets, which is Pro Reborn, Dylan, Seek, and Lunch.
Yeah.
I have to break those guys up.
What I will say is, okay, if you had one for the comic relief, one for survival.
All right. Well, if I'm bringing one for survival, I'm going to bring Drifter. He's freaky smart, man. Yeah. I mean, he'll help logic and freak stuff out. We could probably build us a generator out of a freaking 2x4 and a brick. If I was going to pick one for comic relief, I'd probably, I don't know if I'm going to pick Ocean or Dex. Dex probably needs to stay with his family because otherwise, Dexbot is one of the most entertaining people on the planet. I mean, in person, when you're hanging out with him, not just on stream, but when you're hanging out with him, dude, he is awesome. Ocean is an awesome guy, though. So I'd probably, I don't know, I'd probably, for entertainment value alone, I'd take Ocean because he's just funny as hell.
Who do you trust the most with their decision making?
Oh, Apollo.
Okay.
That's easy. Yeah, he will be able to look at a recruit when I'm sitting there looking at somebody and be like, this guy, let's pick this guy up. And here's a little secret, little glimpse behind the curtain. I will be more snap judgment with people than Apollo will. I'll look at somebody and be like, we want him, we want her, we want him, we want them. Let's go. Let's bring these people on. Let's do it now. Let's go. Right now. Let's go. And he'll be like, wait, we need to watch. Man, what do you mean? He's like, recruitment of somebody, we should observe them for a while to make sure. So he might watch somebody for 3 months, 6 months, a year, and then be like, okay, this person. So that's why Apollo is in charge of recruitment. I'm not in charge of recruitment. Apollo is. So he will be the one that makes that call because we all trust his instincts, and he's done a really good job.
But outside of the content world, when you shut off your PC and you're with your family, what do you do to pass the time to enjoy yourself?
Oh, that's easy. When I'm not doing gaming and I'm not doing Carnage and all the other stuff, it's my motorcycles. I have motorcycles and cars and stuff like that.
We mentioned before about the horizon of Carnage and what could be happening. Is there anything that you can kind of give us that there is on the horizon that you are starting to work towards, or there's something happening and you're ready to release it soon?
We want to do more community-driven events. So we would like to do stuff that involves the community more. We've got exciting stuff coming with our partners. I'm sure there's another merch drop that is coming soon. There'll be lots of different ways that you'll be able to support Carnage in the future. Speaking
of partners, is there a company out there that you haven't partnered with via Carnage that you're interested in? Maybe that's something you can't talk about, but is there a desire company that you want to connect with Carnage? We're in talks with several different companies. We have our existing partners as well. I can tell you that there is a direction that we want to move to. We'd like to work with a snack. I can say that. We'd like to get something where we're working with a snack of some sort. So that would be fun because then we could really unleash the carnage on some snacks. Because I know we really would love to sit around and eat. So I know we want to do that. But I mean, that's the one I'm willing to talk about outside of that. We have official partnerships with Respawn, Scuff, G Fuel, and Control Freak, and we're very proud of those sponsorships, and we really are proud to support all those guys. And use code Carnage, by the way, on all those.
but we've got other partnerships with some other electronics brands that will be announced soon.
If G Fuel came to you and said, right, we want a Carnage flavor, what is the flavor that comes to mind?
I am a huge fan of Hawaii. I go there often. Me and my family go there once a year, and we stay a few weeks. And one of my favorite drinks while I'm there is Pog, which is passion fruit, orange, and guava. So I would love Carnage Pog. Now I want Pog.
If you were a cat, what would be the first thing you would do?
If I was a cat, the first thing I would do, what cats do? My cat does is jump up on top of stuff and scare people. That's probably what I would do. I'd probably go jump on top of stuff and scare people. I know the right answer is to like tear up the furniture, or or sleep, or I don't know. What do cats do?
First thing I would do, test the 9 lives theory.
Test the 9 lives theory.
Now, if it's wrong, then I'm dead. So be it. But if it's right, we're on to something.
Dude, I don't think that's the right. I would not do that. See, that's the exact opposite of what I would do. I would be like, safe. I am not buying in to that.
I'm stupid enough to test it. So, yeah, there you go.
We just learned something about blasphemy in this interview.
And on that note, that finishes the interview. Man, thank you very much. I really appreciate the time.
Thank you so much. It's been fun.
It has.
All right, man.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.